that I have to share my story a little bit with you, and so grateful that you're taking the time out of your evenings, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, to have a quick listen. So my name's Michelle Kasorik. I live up in Nanaimo, British Columbia, Canada, in beautiful Vancouver Island. Although some people were sharing earlier, it's wonderful and warm where they are. Not so warm here, but boy, we've got beautiful green grass and lovely surroundings. So I consider very fortunate where we are. I am 60 years old, mother of 5, and grandmother of 7, soon to have 2 in 2021, coming along, one very soon in March and another in June, and very excited. Family means everything to me. So a little bit about that. I've always looked at life, there are moments in time where we judge things that happened before and after. And a few years ago now, a number of years ago now, my 9-year-old grandson got sick on a Monday with pneumonia, and he passed away on Wednesday. He died in my arms. It was life-changing, needless to say. And that experience, Judge, happened before Zachary died and after. And with that, I learned that life is precious, can change very quickly, and not necessarily in a good way in this particular case. And had a couple of incidents like that. And not too much long afterwards, I was scheduled for a laparoscopic surgery. They nicked an artery when they went in, which left me coming out far worse than I went in. And again, showing me that life is very short and precious, or can be very short and precious. And so as I was recovering from that surgery, my good friend Kerry, and you're going to hear from him next, he and I have known each other since we were 14 years old. He called me and he said, Michelle, I've got a video that you need to see. And I went, Kerry, is that one of those things? Like, I was working as in volunteer management and event management for a facility for children with special needs when it was event time, working 16, 18-hour days. And I was commuting 2 hours to and from work every day. My daughter, Amy, and Kirk, Amy lost Zachary, their life fell apart. And so she and my other 2 grandchildren had moved home. We're helping support them through everything that had been going on. And so I was not looking to add anything else into my life. My basket was full, my cup was full and running over, and I went strictly to honor the friendship. So if you're on this call honoring a friendship in some way, good on you. I went out to the farm to watch a video. And when I got to the farm, the old arthritic dog, whom literally you had to help to the lawn to pee, like they were contemplating putting him down. And I got out of my car, and Ben ran around the car and he jumped on me. And that was so drastically different than the Ben, the crippled dog. And so I went in the house and I said, like, what the heck did you guys do to Ben? And he had been on Protandim for 4 days. And it was like, what's Protandim? And give it to me, because I wanted whatever happened to that dog. There's no placebo effect in a dog. It was so evident that there was something different about him. And I watched the ABC primetime video, and I'm sure many of us have seen that. And if you haven't, get with whoever invited you on this call. But I watched that primetime investigative report, and I said to myself, if that's true, if even part of that is true, that's going to change people's lives. And, fast forward 7 years, and indeed, it changed my life very dramatically. What I noticed first for me, my hands. I have an incredible product story, life-changing results from being on the NRF2 activator. And all I could think of as I watched that video is like, oh, this could help. First, it was me, because I was thinking of, recovering from my surgery. And then I went to my dad, my sister, my friend, and just went through that whole realization of what this could mean. I'd never heard of this technology before. And I thought, holy cow, I'm the 3rd person on Vancouver Island to hear about this. And I knew from a business perspective, I'd done some other things in the past, and from a business, being first with an incredible technology that nobody knows about, I just went like, boy, I've got to jump in. Now, fast forward a little bit through that process, I noticed my hands. When it was event time and hauling tubs and doing all of that, I popped back the anti-inflammatories and hoped the pain would end sooner rather than later. And what I noticed, my hands didn't hurt. I'm like, what? My hands don't hurt? That's crazy. That's got to be in my head. But no, indeed, it didn't. And further from that, then I started discovering that I could breathe again. Springtime would be terrible for me. And I noticed I could breathe without having that, elephant on my chest or the raspy rattle that goes along with it. And food allergies. I accidentally ate a piece of an apple. Now, my throat would swell, my ears would itch, and all of a sudden the apple, I could eat an apple, and then none of that happened. I went out and bought every kind of apple I could find so I could taste them all and see which ones I liked best. And it was just such an incredible time to discover. And then as I started sharing it with friends and family, I started watching changes in them too. It was an incredible, wonderful experience. And so what I think of some of those moments in time, losing Zachary as life-changing, being exposed to Lifevantage, Carrie inviting me, having me look at, is another one of those wonderful moments where life changed dramatically. Family means everything to me. At this point in time, I was able to leave my job early from those 16-hour days. And now I get to spend my time with my family, with my grandchildren, in these interesting times that we're in. Thank goodness we've got the bubble that my grandkids are in. And I get to spend that time with them. And I think about what a gift that is every day, that I get to be able to spend time with those that I love, and how we can actually share that. And that's what we're on here for tonight, sharing some stories and some experiences. I told you a little bit about Carrie there. We've known each other since we were 14. We grew, our kids kind of think they're cousins even, and now that they're all grown. But Carrie has been a supporter, a mentor, a friend, and just an incredible leader. And most specifically, I would say a savior in my life in some ways, by introducing me to this, because it did indeed both physically and financially save me. So with that, Carrie, I'll turn the time over with you.
Thank you, Michelle. That is certainly an incredible introduction. And if I could just have a raise of hands, who would like Michelle just to continue for the rest of this time? I certainly would be fine with that. So Michelle shared with you some information on some product. She talked a little bit about business. And I would suggest that if you're on here right now, you're either on here to hear about a product, you're on here to hear about a business, or it could be the third one. You have no idea why you're on here. So I'm going to share that with you. So as Michelle said, my name's Carrie. I've been in the landscape industry for years and years. And what you're going to hear tonight is just a little more storytelling. I'm going to share my story with you. And then we've got one more to wrap it up. I'll be respectful of your time. We're going to keep this short. But I've been in the landscape industry for most of my adult life, and it's been great. But here's the problems. It's physically demanding work. And I hurt my back many years ago and got to a point where I elected not to have surgery, but I learned to live with the pain. And so I was going through a moment in my life when the pain was so much, I knew that I had to make a change. First of all, I knew I had to get healthy, but I also knew I had to make a change in career or in job. And it's funny, when you put the energy out to the universe gives you what you need, not necessarily what you're asking for. And it gave me what I needed. This ABC video that Michelle talked about basically fell into our laps. Laurie's son sent us an ABC primetime video. It talked about a product which Michelle named NRF2, which is Protandim. And in a nutshell, what it does is reduces the main cause of aging, illness, and disease by 40% in 30 days. And I was like, wow, if this is remotely true, this is going to be a massive deal. And so what is this? What does it reduce? Have you ever cut an apple in half, eaten half, and left the other half on the table? What happens to it? Okay, it turns brown. That is happening inside our body every minute of every day through the air we breathe, through the food we eat, through all the outside forces. And so when I heard about this, Laurie immediately thought maybe this could help Carrie's back. I was thinking, I've never heard about anything like this. Now, if there's a product that does that, then that's going to be a big deal. If it can help people get over the main causes of aging and illness and disease, everyone's going to want to know about this. So I was thinking business opportunity. And you know, with the business opportunity, you've got to ask yourself, is this right for me? I did a little video earlier today, and I talked about when somebody hears of a great opportunity, most of the time we think, okay, it's not real. It's too good to be true. It sounds too good to be true. And at first I was thinking, this sounds too good to be true, but I did a little bit of research, and what I found, that the company is publicly traded on the NASDAQ. You can buy stock in it, the biggest trading platform in the world. That's a big deal. So it gave it legitimacy. The product was tested by science, and not by company scientists, but through third-party validation on the US public, it's the NIH, National Institute of Health, okay? Was all done legitimately, third-party studies through these organizations. And I thought, okay, that's legit. The product works, it does what it says, there's no question about that. Is the company real? Yeah, it's traded on the NASDAQ. Trends are so important when it comes to getting involved in a business. I would say if you wanted to start a company with bell-bottom pants, almost, mind you, I haven't really checked lately on the pant trends. Maybe those are coming back in. A lot of, skinny jeans, right? But what are trends? Health and wellness. People want to get healthy more now than ever. So that's a good business to have, is something in the health and wellness area. And then, does the company pay you? Okay, they've got an incredible pay plan. The company is Lifevantage. They've got a compensation plan that pays new people. It pays people that have been in a long time. It pays very fairly right across the board. And of course, in starting any new business, the big question is, can I do this? Now, I had tried network marketing many times. Michelle can vouch for me that I had not had success in network marketing many times or at all. And so, does the company have a system in place? Basically a plug and play. I run my business off my cell phone and on my computer. If I wasn't on my laptop, I'd be on my cell phone. Technology is such a gift. And the company has provided tools and systems so that you can build your business that way. Now, a lot of people don't want the business, okay? A lot of people are more interested, you know what? I want to get my health back. And I feel like jumping up and running around my chair because I do not like sitting down, talking to people. I've got this energy that I want to get to you. Business isn't for everybody, but is better health something you need? If you want better health, if you want to have a business that could pay you $100 a month, $200 a month, let me ask you, if you had an extra $400 a month in your bank account, would that change the way things are going in your life? Would that benefit you? I see all too often people posting on social media, oh, we've got this great system. All you have to do is put in $7, give me this amount of your time, and next month you're going to be making $80,000 a week. Guys, there's so many scams out there. There's so many people spamming. But you know what's real? What's real is there are people on this Zoom, and if you're sharing the screen, that I personally know that are making anywhere from getting their product paid for free to into the over $10,000 a month. It's up to you what you want. Now, granted, I said I'd never do network marketing again after I'd failed so many times, but I got on the product. I got on the NRF2. The back pain that I had was virtually gone, about 80% gone within a few days. I started golfing again. I started doing things that I hadn't been able to do in a long time. And it felt like I had my life back. And then it was like, I need to share this with people. And that's all we do. We share information. And to me, it doesn't matter whether a person wants to join me in business or not, but we've got an opportunity to help people with their health. And we've got an opportunity to help people to increase their finances. I've personally seen Michelle's health change dramatically, like 180 degrees, or 360 would probably be back where you were, isn't it? So it'd be 180, like complete change. I've also seen the financial end of this change her life. You see, being in the landscaping industry, it was seasonal work. I had no savings. I had no retirement. Being in this business, in this company, in this industry for the last 7 years, I've created an asset, a leveraged asset that is like having $1 million in the bank that pays me month after month after month after month. So the possibilities are there. The possibilities are real. You have to decide, what is it that you want in your life? Are you happy where you're at right now? I've seen people come into this business as teenagers. Well, you got to be 18, and some into their 80s and 90s. We've got some folks on here that are absolutely incredible people that are in their golden years. Let's put it that way. And so I'm glad that you've taken the time to jump on here, and know that you're in a good place, that there are good people around. There's people that care about your health, about your financial well-being, and that can support you in that journey. That's what we're here doing. I think Michelle missed out a common thing that she says all the time, is this business is as simple as linking arms and moving together, doing this together. And that's what we do. We support each other. And so I could go on and on. If you've got any questions, please get back to Invited You, and they'll answer those questions for you. But I'm going to have a really good friend of mine wrap this call up, because she's got a story that you need to hear. This is Chris Loughlin. I was introduced to her just a few years ago. She has some experience in network marketing, and she had made a decision several years ago that she wasn't going to touch anything with a 10-foot pole. And she had some health concerns in her family. And you know what? If you hear about something that sounds too good to be true, check it out. Okay, I want all of you right now, just put your hand up. If you hear of something that sounds too good to be true, put your hand up and say, I will at least check it out. Okay? Check it out, because you just never know. That's Chris. And Chris is an incredible leader. I admire you, Chris. I am grateful that you get to wrap up and end this call today. So thank you, everyone, for jumping on. Thank you, Michelle. Chris, I'll turn the remainder of this over to you.
Thanks, Carrie. Holy moly. I'm just going to share a little bit about me. Recently, I was asked by someone, are you still doing that thing? So I'm going to share what that means to me. I'm 72 years old. I met Tom when I was 15. He's my husband. He immigrated to Canada, and I couldn't until I was 18. So I turned 18 in November. I was in Canada in December, and we started our lives together. New world, leaving family and friends behind. Now, we did some crazy stuff throughout our life. We bought a hotel, and we had great ambitions with this hotel, and we lost a lot of money. We just lost a lot. But you know, life goes on and you have ups and downs, but then our focus became mainly on raising our kids. And it was always just us. It was always Tom and I and the kids. But about 10 years ago, we were faced with some major challenges. Tom had a heart issue, and of course that brought on all the medications that go along with that. And then the next year, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Well, that went through us because his dad died of prostate cancer. So that was a pretty significant event in our life at that time. So while we were on what we called it was our radiation vacation, I started thinking, what was the most important thing for he and I? Besides our kids, what was it about he and I? And I realized at that time that time was the most important thing for he and I. So we sold our only asset, bought a motorhome, and we traveled for 5 months, just Tom and I and our dog. And it was one of the best decisions we had ever made in our life. Went where we wanted to go, stayed as long as we wanted to stay. It didn't matter. It was just perfect. Then reality sets in. We had to settle down. At our age, we have to settle down. But nothing had changed. Health was still the same. Finances still the same, only now we were living on a very fixed income. And then 5 years ago, I was invited to watch the same video that Michelle and Carrie spoke about because it might benefit Tom. So I watched it and I was totally intrigued. I'm right up wanting to know more what's natural. So I was really intrigued and I checked the science out. So I jumped in. And I knew it was network marketing. And like Carrie mentioned, I'd done network marketing before. But I love the business model of network marketing. And there's one thing, you can go through life looking for the perfect job or the perfect career. And we can do the same thing in a network marketing business till you find the right one that fits. Well, for me, it fit. And so my gut said, this is it. This is what I have to do. So I had some health issues. Sounds a bit like Michelle. I had some issues with my hands and my joints, and I tried everything. Nothing worked. Short of taking drugs that was going to damage my eyes, I was pretty well living with whatever was going to happen with these joints. Well, I tell you, within a couple of months, I saw a huge difference for me. I can do things now that I couldn't do 5 years ago. And peeling potatoes is pretty significant for an Irish woman. So to do that comfortably today, I'm very grateful for that. But our son, Ryan, he's taken it for prevention when you think of his dad and his grandfather. Our daughters, for health issues that they had. And my daughter, Jackie, what a huge transformation for her. But the best is Tom, my soulmate. He's no longer on any medication. In fact, when he had his checkup a year ago, no, it's pre-COVID, so it's more than a year. We've been on lockdown for a year. So it's pre-COVID when he had his checkup done. And the doctor said, whatever you're doing, keep on doing it. He is in the best health that he's ever been. He's turning 75 this month, and he is doing phenomenal. And he never forgets to take that daily dose of activation. He doesn't forget. I don't need to remind him. So what I've done in these past 5 years has made a huge difference for our family, absolute huge difference. And by sharing with others, I know I've helped to make a difference for them. So when someone asks me, are you still doing that thing? My answer is, you bet your life I am. And I will continue to do that thing. So with that, I'd like to say thank you, Michelle. Thank you always for always being there, for linking arms and encouraging us all. Carrie Arnott, thank you so much for everything that you do. I appreciate it. And everyone else, thank you all for being on here tonight. We have a gift to give. And if we can make a difference in someone's life, that's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for. So, as Carrie said, if you've got any questions, please do not hesitate to ask from whomever, because all we're here to do is to help and to make a difference wherever we can. So I think I want to wrap it up now and say thank you, everyone. Have a great evening. Thank you, Tori. Thanks, everyone. And we will see you again. Take care and good night.